俺たちはヒーローじゃない。呪術師だ。
Oh, so Megami knew! He opened the floodgates to Agartha!
God damn it.
Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3 and Sentenced to be a Hero are the top 2 trending anime appearing in my feed. I have never bothered to watch One Punch Man, yet I can see the white tears dripping down from my fellow anime enjoyers. The winter season is a godsend. I have no idea why this show is on everybody's radar. I purposefully averted the trailer 7 months ago because I thought it was Mushoku Tensei Season 3, but it was titled something else and I kinda just forgot about it. The story centers around this dystopian-like world where mutated creatures kill human beings in a not so nice way. A boy was seen carrying a large box on his back. Running downhill, the big-ass frog leaps and knocks him into a log. As he begs for help, his buddy strikes from above and exterminates the creature. If that intro didn't cinematically draw me in, I would have called it generic and started Escape Tsunami for brain rots. Oh yeah, that's the Gen Alpha blunt. I think these two could really use a smoke. Xylo and Dota are heroes. Typically, you would root for them knowing that they are heroes. People who protect others, running around in capes, people who are praised for their courageous actions. In this world, heroes are on the same level as rotten criminals. They are pawns of the battlefield, sentenced to fight in the front lines against the horrid army of monsters. These so-called heroes are hated by everyone. For worse, people like Xylo and Dota are forbidden from passing to the afterlife. If a hero dies, they will be resurrected to endlessly fight the monster army. Each revival causes them to lose fragments of their memory, a punishment worse than death. That is pure fucking evil. The ones who are in favor of this lawful punishment are the Holy Knights. Xylo and Dota spot a nearby night camp under the attack of the mutated army. Before they engage, a lolly appears behind them, claiming to be a goddess. Unfortunately, without Xylo's judgment, we can all agree that she's straight up an all-powerful nation-destroying being, right? Short, vibrant, and 1,000 years of age is really all there is to it. Terita, the torch weapon-wielding goddess, isn't anything to Xylo. He cuts to the chase. Descending down the mountain slope, Xylo wastes no time in helping others. That's what a hero does, right? This is where we see the sweet, juicy action. The beautiful ripples, the animation looks like butter on my pancakes. I finally see the hype behind Sentenced to be a Hero. Why are the characters besides these three so narrow-minded? Xylo cleans up the filth around the area just to get disgusted faces in return. The status of being a penalty hero is irreparable and does not even deserve an ounce of respect by the remaining Holy Knights. Xylo and the rest got it tough out here. They are forced into this war to serve for the kingdom's military, yet their actions, deeds, lives are nothing more than the corpses of the monsters they face. The knights were trained to lay their lives for honor, but they won't even consider the help they receive from these heroes because of their past. It's sickening. But if I were an injured knight on that battlefield, I too would question the motives of the likes of Xylo. But I'm obviously watching this anime through the perspective of Xylo's group, the oppressed.
These knights look like dumbasses. The MC can wipe them out in just a few seconds.
There. They're meant to not be likable in the first place.
But I already got attached to the MC, and surely he hasn't done anything crazy.
He killed a goddess and cut her down with his own hand!
What? That's crazy. Xylo was a former captain in the army. His fleet fought against the 11th Demon Lord and he made a pact with Xynerva, a goddess that aided him in battle. She willingly gave up her life for Xylo's fleet as she sustained grave injuries from the Demon Lord in which Xylo was forced to end her life. The information that Xylo gives in court could be skewed, but judging from his eyes alone, I know that man would not lie. Returning to when he first met Teorita, he knew that she was a goddess off the bat and visibly felt distraught upon her appearance, having no intention to ask for her aid. Goddesses are purest in heart, so in the beginning I thought Xylo was just a dick, in which he can be, but after knowing how much his involvement with the goddess ruined his life, I can understand his aversion. B-Story's decision to place Xylo's past near the end of the episode is such a great segue into the next. Since episode 1 was an hour long, it felt like an entire movie that was willing to conclude their short film after the big fight. Many can agree there is a curiosity factor every time some bum holy knight screams at the sight of a hero. Heroes are just people punished to be enslaved and fight forever. They are prisoners of war, exiled by a seemingly twisted system. When Xylo attempted to explain himself in court, not even the governor was willing to acknowledge one thing that Xylo said. Xylo accepted his place of judgment and spoke sincerely. It is by law that both parties hear each other out and to not make decisions without evidence. Sure, Xylo couldn't prove himself innocent, but this motherfucker was choosing to deny every word he uttered out of his mouth like he was swiping left on Tinder. The dark atmosphere and the bright design on characters like Teorita and Dota's hair color was so appealing to me. The thin and freeform outline on the characters is just like Mushoku Tensei's animation. There was a scene where Rudius used his first water magic spell, and it had that same vibe with the cannon shot at the Demon Lord's army. Hiroyuki Takashima was the director for both, so it's not surprising that they were able to keep that momentum in Sentenced to be a Hero. The side characters in the show are cool, but I wish they had a bigger presence, enough for me to care. Don't get me wrong, Dota and Teorita have great synergy with Xylo. It's really refreshing to see a tiny goddess that isn't a tsundere or one that is obsessed with the MC. God damn it, okay, it's not an obsession though. All gods are just like this. From the mid segment until the end, Dota kinda gets sidelined and doesn't do much besides being Xylo's eyes and killing a frog once. Maybe I'm asking too much. Without a doubt, the Holy Knights, I just fucking hate them. I hate how accurate it is for individuals in the army to not have a conscience, licking the feet of their higher-ups and berating others who do not agree. Xylo's weapon of choice is to throw daggers at his enemies and watch them self-destruct. There is a distinct reason as to why this lolly goddess chose Xylo. When the army is holding their ground against the monsters, the Demon King appears. It takes the form of a giant cockroach. My god, this is actually terrifying. When the Holy Knights chain an attack towards the Demon Lord creates a barrier and deflects the attack back to the Holy Knights. Smoke surrounds the area. The only thing in Xylo's line of sight is Teorita. The goddess watches him as he cries to his comrades. No response. It was then that he saw the bloody shoulder piece on the ground. Xylo heard death around him. He wasn't usually bothered by the agonizing screams by the Holy Knights, but something about the Demon King being too powerful plummeted Xylo in brief despair. His friends were nowhere to be seen or heard, and all that was left was this blonde goddess. After seeing his backstory, Xylo was terrified to sacrifice another goddess, yet the goddess remained unperturbed. Xylo does the very thing he dreads, and it was to form a pact with Teorita. Okay. Genuinely, what is so interesting about this god?
Pray to the goddess of swords, Teorita!
Holy shit, it's Gilgamesh's daughter. I guess he'll never run out of throwing explosive daggers ever again. Wow.